Okay, it's Tuesday. Temperature's probably about -2, -3 Celsius, or it could even be 0. Shoot, I don't know. Anyhow, it's like 32 degrees or in the upper 20s. And as you can tell behind me here, it snowed last night. But yesterday it was in the 40s, that's Fahrenheit, and it would probably be about somewhere in, I think maybe in the teens-ish. Something like that. Anyhow, I got a little bit more done on this. I'm getting ready to quit because it's something after 2. Oh, I almost fell down. I got plastic on this, and I'm okay, by the way. Thanks for asking. Anyhow, I got plastic down on this, and as you can see, there's snow and ice and leaves and everything else to slip and fall and break a hip. Dad come up yesterday and we got a 16-foot section of wall put up. There's where the 2 joins. I got an 8-foot section with a window framed up. Now, this window opening is 2 foot by 2 foot. As you can see here how it's thrown together. All of my studs are basically 2-foot centers, except for here where this window's at. I got from the edge of this over to this first stud 2 foot, and then roughly probably about 12 inches or so before I hit that. Now I got 2 foot opening here for the window, and then about 12 inches or so, and then another 2 foot. The side walls, or the front and the back walls on this, here's my outside stud, and here's another inside stud. The reason this one is turned 90 degrees to this is Dad was telling me that whenever you go to put your drywall up, you have to have something to put your drywall in. He said usually what they do is they put a spacer in between your outside stud and then the stud that you put your drywall on. He says the problem with that is it gives it a place for the cold air to seep in. And we decided to, instead of doing that, wasting the stud, cutting one up for spacers, just throw one of them in there 90 degrees to the outside. That way we've got something to nail to. But it's coming along kind of sort of slow. I could have probably got a little bit more done today if it hadn't snowed last night. Of course, it was in the forecast. It was started down as rain, and then after it got good and dark, it turned to snow. They had a Veterans Day dinner last night at Golden Corral, which they've got a all-you-can-eat buffet, and I met Mom and Dad up there for dinner, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, they've got a little bit of everything. They got ham, fried chicken, pot roast, which is really, really good, and they've got pizza, green beans, mashed potatoes, French fries, corn, and they got a dessert bar. They've got a salad bar that's got about everything you can think of almost for, well, over here anyways, for salad stuff. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. Of course, there's a lot of veterans over there, naturally. And the veterans, they got to eat for free. And anyhow, let you take a look out your kitchen window. me step back. I've got a tarp down over this. I put this here's the living room section. I went ahead and threw a piece of plywood down on this, basically for safety's sake. Being I had Dad up here working on it. Anyhow, there's one of your kitchen walls done. Of course, I got to get the sheeting to go on the outside of it, and then I got to cut this hole out here for the window. Anyhow, here's looking out your window, kitchen window. Of course, this is a briar bush here, all bent down, weighed down with snow. I can't remember if it's one of them that actually has berries on it or not, or if it's just a multi-thorn briar bush. But there's woods back that direction. There's a field just on the other side of them. And I was up here shortly after I moved in. Man, Madeline was up here, just kind of sort of walking around, and there was somebody had a tree stand back in there where they were deer hunting. And of course it's private property, and I don't know for sure who it was. And I kind of sort of felt bad after I'd seen them sitting in there, and here me and Maddie was down here walking around and stuff, kind of, yeah, what they call molesting their hunt. But I don't think that they see very many deer here that often. Of course, there's every now and then there's some that comes through, but not very often. And of course, there's squirrels out here. I've heard them out running in the trees and running in the woods and whatnot whenever I've been up here working. Of course, just here lately, back on this plastic, of course it don't help. I got snow and ice caked on the bottom of my boots, and that makes things that much worse. And that's just from walking up here on that plastic. And then of course the ground, it's turned into a big mud hole. There's my pile of lumber I've been working on, or with. Let me get down here on my good old terra firma, that way I ain't slipping and falling, breaking the phone, or getting hurt. Anyhow, big old pile of studs and 2x6s, and then 8-footers down there on the bottom. But like I said, it's coming along. It's kind of moving slow. Of course, like I said too, had it not snowed, I could have probably got about 2 or 3 walls and short ones up. And I ended up building that here on the floor of this, and picked it up and moved it, carried it basically down there, slipping and sliding the whole way. Now I managed to get it down there and got it in, and I got a little tiny bit of an adjustment to do on it before I call it good. Anyhow, I'll let you take a quick view here at the scenery. Of course, here's where I've been working at. Neighbor's house right directly down over the hill. One of them's a nurse, and the other one I think might be a scrub tech, or they might both be nurses. I don't remember. They've got a 6 or 7-year-old son. There's neighbor's house across the roadway off there in the distance. Sits up on a hill, and they got a huge field out behind our house and woods, and kind of sort of getting back around to onto my property. Then my stand of pines I got that I can't get rid of. There's some more briar bushes and stuff, but briar bushes, like I said, they're staying. And I had Madeline up here yesterday so she could see how much of it I've got done. And I picked her up and stood her up here on this platform. She ran from one end of it to the other a couple of times, sniffing and act like she's just happy as can be. So I guess she can't wait to get to camp out in it. So, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I'm not really cold. I'm just tired, kind of sort of zapped energy, of course, up here slipping and sliding on this slick plastic and packing that wall over there, and my cordless saw that I've got right here. Its battery's running dead on it. It's got an 18-volt battery in it. I don't even have any idea where it exactly came from, but it's handy to have, because I don't know for sure how far away a little metal building is up here, and it's got, I think, an outlet in it, but I don't know if I've got enough extension cords to run to get me a regular saw up here. But of course, I've got, that's what they call a miter box. They use it whenever they're wanting to cut 45s. It's got a regular straight cut, and then it's got another 45 there. They use it a lot for, here's the saw for it. Now, a lot of these miter saws, I'll lay this down so I can point. Oh, there we go. It's got a spine on the back of it, basically a piece of metal, make it rigid, that way the saw's not bowing on you as you're cutting and messing your cut up. But they use that a lot on trim, say like what goes around your doors in your houses, and say like chair rails, baseboards, stuff like that. That's what they use those miter boxes on. You know, they're not, as you can see, with my hand, they're not real wide or anything, but they're handy to have. And I've had to use the saw part of it up here, and I brought the box up just in case I had to do a raw cut. One of them that I couldn't get started with the circular saw is where the battery keeps wanting to run dead in it. And of course it don't help matters either, being as cold as what it is. A lot of times that cold will sap energy right out of a battery. A good example is take a flashlight, put brand new batteries in it in the wintertime, and just sit outside on your porch or front steps or whatever you've got, and leave it out there overnight, and then get it in the morning and turn it on and see how bright it actually is. I can tell you from experience it's not real bright, but that'd be something to show Anna, or Anna, I don't know for sure how her name's pronounced. I figure it's Anna, A-N-A. So, well, that's pretty much about it. Like I said, I'm gonna gather stuff up. I've got a little grocery sack thing up here that I basically got all my tools I needed for today in. Nails, and hammer, and level, and square, and tape measure, and circular saw, and whatnot. Just a handful of stuff. So I get stuff gathered up, get down over the hill. I got to clean Hattie's rabbit cage out, and I got laundry to get done, and dishes in the sink get washed up. And now I figure out what we're going to have for dinner. maybe TV dinner, I don't know. I might just fix fish. Or, I don't know, I might fix fish. Fish sounds good. I got pizza rolls, which is basically pizza roll or pizza dough that has got your pizza filling, stuff that you would basically put on pizza, like your sauce and cheese and any kind of meats or anything. And it's kind of wrapped up in a little tiny piece of pizza dough, and probably about that big a square, something like that. And yeah, they're not too bad. They're something quick to fix. You know, a lot of people fix them for a snack from time to time. If I don't feel like cooking anything, I'll get some of them, throw them on a paper plate, and pop them in the microwave and cook them for so long, and then I get another paper plate and turn them and cook them, continue cooking them. So, yeah, I'll probably have fish. I got some mac and cheese down there I can fix. And I know it's something that Maddie will eat too. So, I'm going to get this wrapped up down over the hill where it's warm. And try to get on here maybe next weekend. Or not this coming, but weekend after next. Be more towards the end of the month, I think. And chat with you for a little tiny bit. So, alrighty. You be good, and if it's getting anything like it is over here, you stay warm. I'll talk to you later.